Go around Nigeria, the politics is getting hot and hotter. Sometimes it's, pretty hot. But today we're looking at, one beautiful thing about Nigerian politics and its development, and see what joy it is to get into the political fray. Being a woman. Women in politics is something we're looking at now. And we're asking the big question, how has it been? Is it a case of those who are running the affairs of this, how they say it, whether you have your own political godfather or godmother somewhere? Well, joining me now today on this show is Aanena Jemitola. Good to have you join us. You're a former commissioner. Sometimes it's a mouthful. Twice you were a commissioner, overseeing two different ministries.
Yes.
Women Affairs and
Arts, Culture and Tourism.
And Arts, Culture and Tourism in Edo State.
Yes.
Well, good to have you join us on Political Stew.
Thank you.
I was actually going to bring the apron so that we can actually do some cooking. But again, let's talk politics.
Okay.
Tell us how it's been like, coming into politics. You were first outside the country before you came back home to vie for elective office.
Yes. What a journey.
What a journey.
Yes. What a journey. When I first came, I was full of ideas and dreams, aspirations. When you live abroad and you want to go back home, you don't dream of the city, because you've seen so much of the city abroad that all you want to do is, if you're from a rural area, go back to your rural area and enjoy what you've missed for so long, and then see what you can do, about actualizing your dreams. Abroad, some of the rural areas are even more developed than some of the cities, maybe for one reason or the other, sometimes for tourism, and then you have places where the government concentrates on so much. And I thought I could bring that to bear, particularly because I came from, or rather I come from, an area that's very rich in natural resources. And I said, my local government could actually contribute.
And where is that?
To developing this country. Akoko-Edo. It has a lot of limestone, glass, gold. It actually has the best gold in Africa.
There is gold in
Yes,
Akoko-Edo?
a lot of gold in Dambala, in Akoko-Edo, and several other areas, also saw, and many other villages there. But it's really concentrated in Dambala, 22 karat, and the best quality 22 karat in Africa. And limestone, of course, we have very good quality limestone. The cement factories in Okwila are constantly taken from us. Kaolin, Fespa, so many, granite. It's abundant there.
So you know this much about your people and
Yes.
your environment, your locality. And when you settled in and you said you were going into politics,
Yes.
when you made that announcement,
Yes.
how did it go with the people?
When I came back home, I was living in France. It was like a consensus person had come. That was 2007, and I won the election for the House of Reps. I'm sure the opposition...
Under
ANPP, yes,
right?
under ANPP. I came back, and I was a big Buharist in those days, because I remembered him as a strict disciplinarian, and I thought, this is what we need at this time. And so I contested under the ANPP, and I won resoundingly. But as usual...
there's a but.
Yes, there's a but. There was a little manipulation. We changed the narrative at that time, changed everything. And we went to court. I was supported by the Action Congress, AC, as well. So it was like a coalition of parties came together and supported me to go to court. And I would call it a winning court because the elections at that time was annulled. Yeah. We got access to the ballot papers. And when the ballot papers came out and they were counting, it was ANPP, 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 ANPP. So it got to a point that the chairman of the tribunal just said, oh, stop. You know, we can see, you know, that who won. And it was a unanimous judgment. Yeah, those were really great times. But once again, there was a second but. They appealed the judgment. That was the PDP. I defeated Colonel Akugon at that time, you know, and there was this popular judgment at that time. There was an old, for technical reasons, they claim, and that we filed 1 day out of time. They went back to my petition at the lower tribunal, the judge at that time, and knocked out the case. So, yeah.
On technical grounds? On
technical grounds, yes.
Since after that episode, did you try at any point in time to vie for election again?
Well, in 2011, but I continued to live in the village, you know, continued to do things for my people.
You were staying in the village?
Yes, I still do live in the village.
So you're not the kind of politician, like in my neighborhood, I had politicians, I'm talking about my neighborhood here in Lagos, once they get into office, because I stay in the hinterlands of Lagos. So when they get into office, they move and they leave us to the debt road and so many other things. So you lived in the village?
Yes, I live in my village of Ososo.
Was it because... I don't want to put a gender to this. Was it because you're a woman? Why did you choose to live in the village? Because a lot of other politicians like yourself would have moved to the city.
I love the village. Even if I work in the city, the village would always be my first address. I would always, like when I was commissioner, I went home most weekends. Yeah, I can't imagine life without the village.
But you're a member of the APC as we speak.
Yes, I am a member of APC.
And you're contesting for the House of Representatives.
Yes, and then in 2011, I was going to contest again, but the party decided to shake things up, and this time I was asked to step down.
What party? That was ACN?
AC. It was AC at that time, yes.
Yeah.
So I was asked to allow the present honorable member, you know, to contest, and that after 8 years,
now this is the part where I like to come in again.
Yeah.
Why were you asked to step down? Because that's what we hear almost all the time. We're not politicians, but we hear politicians say, I was asked to step down.
Well, I guess, well, you see, sometimes us as politicians, we have our own ideas, but the party is thinking differently. I guess that's what happened then. And I was actually told to take the ticket for the House of Assembly, which I refused to because I thought it was wrong. I mean, if I wasn't getting my own ticket, I didn't need to take anybody's ticket. So I said, no, I would wait. And being a loyal party person, I said, fine, I would wait until you think it's my turn.
Now let's come back to the present day, because whoever, you said the lawmaker at that time who was actually going for that same position, you were asked to stand down for him. It was a he, right?
Yes, he was going for the Senate, but because somebody else...
was already there.
No, somebody else was not already there. Somebody else was asked to run for the Senate, so he was asked to take the House of Reps, and I, who was running for the House of Reps...
And you were asked to go for House of Assembly?
Yes.
Which you refused then?
Yes.
But you became a commissioner thereafter?
Yes, I became a commissioner. I preferred, you know, to be a commissioner at that time because I didn't want to be part of, you know, this ticket.
So now we're back to 2019, yes. And the member of your party is still there, and is he seeking re-election as well? Because if you are now ready to go, it would seem as if maybe he's tired and he's saying, Aanena, I think it's your time, it's your turn, come over.
No, he's done 2 terms, and
he's done 2 terms.
Yes, he's seeking re-election for a 3rd tenure.
So he's seeking re-election with a 3rd tenure?
Yes.
And within your party, you're trying to cause some kind of upset?
No, I wouldn't call it an upset. I would call it, I'm not contesting on gender lines, no. I'm contesting on competence.
And that's why I haven't said anything about gender line, because I'm saying, first, I think if we had to go back to gender issues, I'll be asking questions of why you were asked to stand down for a gentleman. Why weren't you given, you know, a free hand to go through the primaries and see who the party members or delegates at that time would pick to fly the flag of your party? But now, coming back to what is happening now, talking about competence, are you challenging the man who's there, you know, based on his incompetence?
No, not for lack of competence, no. But I just think it's time to have me, not me as a woman per se, but me as Aanena Jemitola. You know.
What's your party saying about this?
Well, I think we'll be able to go for direct primaries. If we're able to go for direct primaries, free, fair, direct primaries, where every card-carrying member will be able to vote, then we'll know what the people will say. You know, there's a particular program, I mean, a particular bill that my present honorable member is pursuing for the School of Mining in Akoko-Edo, to be situated in Akoko-Edo. That's why I said I'm not going to say for lack of competence, because everybody who is a legislator certainly has something that they're passionate about that is good. They may not be able to get the bill across, they may not be able to do it, you know, to get whatever program they want to get across in their own tenure. But government is a continuum. Yeah. And whatever we do is incremental. Yeah. We should be able to, you know, be given the chance to continue whatever processes they've started, you know, and to implement ours.
So if you say it's not about competence and non-performance, and you've just done something many politicians don't do, give credit, what are those things that you think you would do differently to earn you the vote?
Now that's where we're going, because there's so many things I think, you know, if given the chance, I would love to do. Healthcare. I actually believe that our people are not getting access to free healthcare. That is something I'm passionate about. I've been part of a group of NGOs on 3 occasions where we gave free healthcare to the people. Yeah, that's why I said I didn't leave. I stayed to continue helping them. You know, the first one was we gave free eyeglasses, and we checked their eyes for glaucoma, for cataracts and stuff like that. The second one was a group of doctors came and they did surgeries, you know, for cataracts and different other things, not just optometrists. And we had dentists as well. We did real surgeries, deliveries, gynecological, and, you know, stuff like that. So the third one was an extension of the second one, because we couldn't take everybody that needed to, you know, be seen. So we had to get them to come back and do a third operation. Now, for me, it should not be a once in a while thing for people. It should be there all the time. The primary health centers are there. As a legislator, one can collaborate with different organizations and NGOs, even abroad, and get equipment for the primary health centers. We don't have to wait for government to provide them all the time. Government tries, but I'm sorry, but they don't do enough in the health sector, because when you visit the health centers, the primary health centers, they hardly have any equipment. So you collaborate with the NGOs, they get the equipment, that are, in inverted commas, obsolete abroad, but are still needed here, can go a long way to saving lives. All we do is pay for the shipment. Have made all those inquiries. Pay for the shipment and distribute them to every primary health center in your local government. It's as simple as that. It's not difficult. Then education. I want every child to have access to education. JAMB forms should be free. I know they pay a token now, but that token means a lot to people in the rural area. That token has denied a lot of children education. Tourism. Akoko Edo is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The hills, the mountains. You're from Edo North. I'm sure you've probably heard about.
If I knew there were a lot of gold in your neighborhood, I think I should have been there and not sitting down here. But now let's talk seriously about. Yes. I think something tells me deep in my heart you're evading. You're trying to be a true politician with me. And if you say whoever is there is working and he's competent, he's pursuing a bill, and you want to do X, Y, and Z, I keep asking myself, so if you're not coming based on, value-added service to your people, and you think that this person is already adding value, why seek the election to go into the National Assembly?
What I said is every legislator is competent to the extent at which he is competent.
Aren't you trying to patronize them because you're worried that they just might call you and say, oh, that wasn't nice, and you went on television. We know now, when the cameras and lights are not there, do you think women truly have been given fair chance, opportunities, so to speak, in our political space?
No. There are only 5 women in the House of Representatives now, and I know there are many more that are competent that could be there and serving their people. And when women are given a chance to represent, they put in their body, their soul, their might, everything. Women sacrifice a lot. In the Senate, I beg your pardon, in the House of Representatives, there are 15.
Yes, Senate is fine.
Yes, the Senate.
You have how many of them? But we'll do the counting, so we don't lose time on that.
Okay, let's just stay with the House of Reps, because that's the one I'm going for. There's 15. Look at it, there are 360 something seats, I think 64 or so. Yeah. And there's only 15 women. How does that represent women? It doesn't at all. So we need to get more women, to go in there and compete and win, and be role models for other women who want to.
What's your party saying about women, the inclusion of women in politics, and how is your party encouraging more women, especially young women, to go into politics?
Yeah, the party talks about the 35% affirmative action for women. but they also talk about the difficulty in implementing it. I think they can start from this election by showing their genuineness in implementing it. I mean, it's the number of women that collected forms and paid for forms are not many. If I'm going to stick with Edo State is just 7 women that collected forms. 7.
Because your party put some kind of humongous fee.
Well, it's perhaps they did not want to involve themselves in tokenism. You know, if you give women the forms as a token for free, and you don't give them the enduring environment to compete, to vote and be voted for, and they don't get voted for, then, you know.
What would be your definition of an enduring environment?
Enduring environment is an environment free of any form of violence.
That's very important.
Because normally when there's violence, the first people to run away are women. And they leave the field open for the men to just close in and, you know, do as they wish. But we need to have that environment that is peaceful, you know, that is enabling, you know, that women, mothers, and their children can come out and vote for who they want.
Have you picked up your form?
Yes, I have.
You submitted?
Oh, yes, I have.
Tell us, this will be in closing, if you were to speak to your party members now, because I saw a smile on your face when you talked about direct primaries, and you also, you were a commissioner on the
Arts, Culture and Tourism, and then Women Affairs.
On the Comrade Adams Oshomole, who's now your party chairman.
Yeah, I did 2 terms with him.
2 terms, and now the talk or the controversy, because some are not comfortable with direct primaries in your party. How comfortable or how excited are you with direct primaries to start with?
Oh, direct primaries is the way to go.
It's the way to go?
Yes, it is the way to go. You know, with direct primaries, you get to know who the real grassroots politicians are. I would love to have direct primaries.
So if you were to speak to your people now and they're watching this program and their party members come in for that process, what would you be saying to them, knowing full well that there's someone already occupying that position in Abuja from your locality?
See, it doesn't matter if someone is there occupying the position or...
How would you... I know it doesn't matter. I'm saying, how would you woo them to make that turn and move towards you and say, we want Aanena Jemitola to represent us now?
Aanena Jemitola lives with them. Aanena Jemitola was once voted for in an election that could have been very contentious, but they still came out and voted. That was my first coming. This is my second coming. And they will vote for Aanena Jemitola again and again because she's always there for them. And they know that I plan to develop Akoko Edo. When you come to Akoko Edo now, as it is, I've been doing tree planting, preparing Akoko Edo for tourism. I think Ososo in Akoko Edo is the only place, the only community where the streets are tree-lined from the beginning till the end, just like you see abroad. Like a boulevard? Yes, like a boulevard. Yeah, when you enter Ososo, right from the roundabout at Oja, all you see is trees on a straight line. I've been educating them on sanitation, on beautification, on deforestation, on getting their kids to go to school, no excuses whatsoever, on making sure that they don't joke with malaria, on infant mortality. I've been telling them the industries, we have over Edo now as it is. I've been doing tree planting, preparing Akukwedo for tourism. I think Ososo in Akukwedo is the only place, the only community where the streets are tree-lined from the beginning till the end, just like you see abroad. Like a boulevard? Yes, like a boulevard. Yeah, when you enter Ososo, right from the roundabout at Oja, all you see is trees on a straight line. I've been educating them on sanitation, on beautification, on deforestation, on getting their kids to go to school, no excuses whatsoever, on making sure that they don't joke with malaria, on infant mortality. I've been telling them the industries, we have over 60 industries in Akukwedo who are mining every day and making a whole lot of money, yet nothing is being given back to the society where these monies are made from.
When is the primaries?
The primaries on the 3rd.
Of October?
Of October, yes.
So after that, we hope to have you back again here.
Yes.
To talk more, since you say you'll win and win and win,
win again, yes.
Best wishes.
Thank you so much.